in Atlanta?
Starting left tackle in Atlanta. Man, we're going. It's still a work in progress of who's going to be the whole five, which has been good for us to kind of keep that deal going and keep the competition revved up and at a high level. So we're going to settle in that, as quickly as we can here real soon.
Larry, what are your realistic expectations for a week from Monday?
Realistic expectations to win. I mean,
Offensively.
To score points and win. That's the realistic expectation. There's nothing much more to a football game but finding a way to win it, and that's what we're going to do.
What do you like where you are? I mean, what's your concerns? What do you like where you are right now?
Football is one of those deals, and first games are always interesting. You never really have a good gauge because you're constantly, as a coach, evaluating, moving things around, shaking it around, trying to keep the competition at a high level and those things. And finally, you get to that game one and you go, okay, guys, we're going to really go. Really, it's a discovery project for us, too, because we're going to find out what we are, what we're built on, what we're all about, how guys take on game day. We got a lot of young players, and it's going to be their first time walking into a stadium like that, which is, it's different from any stadium they're going to walk in all year, state of the art. And we're going to go in and we're going to find out what guys can handle it, how guys react to it, how guys, play and do all those things. So it's really going to be a lot of questions answered, and we'll get them answered on game night.
Are you narrowing down a quarterback plan? Do you have a quarterback plan you're not ready to share yet? Where are you with your plans for your quarterback?
In time, that'll all come into place.
So you got a plan in place. You're not ready to share.
Well, we still got 11 days to kind of make sure we're headed down the right path with that and doing the right things and moving guys. Guys playing with guys is important as anything. So just keeping the groups varied and keeping the thing going and keeping the competition high is what we're concerned with right now.
Coach Jones has talked about failure to focus to the level that's necessary, details not getting taken care of. How much of this is skill and experience versus just the competitiveness? I mean, like Juwan Jennings brings every day, or is that what's lacking? I mean, what needs to happen for these guys on the O-line to kind of start hitting the assignments and executing where Coach Jones wants it?
I think just the continuation of playing ball and practicing and getting the combinations to where that we're starting to get some continuity with that, and having some guys out from injury and now adding some of those guys back here in the last couple of days. It's just like anything else. To get that machine well-oiled, you got to just keep running it and running it and running it and running it and running it. So the continued reps and having guys work together, I think that'll add and lend to us coming together here when we need to.
Have you pared down the receiver rotation? I know the last time we talked, you were looking at paring down running back receiver rotation. Is that almost set?
As we've gotten closer, we've narrowed some of that a little bit as far as guys getting more reps or guys getting less reps. Naturally over time we've done a little bit of that, but I think it's important too that you continue right now to develop your depth. College football is a long year, and just because a guy's now getting fewer reps doesn't mean he's not in there, and getting coached and being evaluated constantly. So right now it's still moving and still changing up for us a little bit. However, we have narrowed it down a little bit.
Larry, coaches want to practice. You always say you need more work, But are you approaching a point where you need to play?
Yes, absolutely. We're 5 weeks into camp. And those things, and to really get some of the questions answered, you got to go play. Essentially, that's what happens. That's why the NFL has 4 preseason games before they get it all figured out. And that, it's a natural progression. They have the advantage of that. First preseason game, the starters don't play a whole lot, and then the progression goes and goes, and guys start to play more. We don't have that. We don't have that. So, first time we get a chance to figure it out is when the ball's put down in game 1 and it counts. So, it does, and I think in 11 days these guys will be about ready to play a game.
Larry, what do you need to see over the next 11 days that you haven't seen so far?
Consistency and continuity. I think that's the big thing for us right now is getting those guys back healthy and getting them back in the rotation and getting a healthy rotation of guys working together consistently to get the level of consistency we want from, especially up front, the wide receivers, the young backs, and all of them guys just working together as one.
Your Miami experience from a couple of years ago, being kind of pressed into duty there, how has that kind of helped prepare you for this assignment now being aboard?
Like I said, I think I've always said it's always been relative. I've always kept a big picture idea and out in front of me of what I really wanted to be and do in this business. So I've always approached it that way. all the time, whether I was just an assistant coach with one position, or a running game coordinator, or a special teams coordinator, or interim head coach, or an offensive coordinator. It's always been the big picture.
Hey, Larry, as you get in the game week and you start going more against the scout team, how do you use what is maybe that time to try to find the continuity on the offensive line, because you guys have been mixing and matching so much due to injury in fall camp?
Yeah, that's going to be critical for us, and our scout teams are very important to us, and making sure we get good looks from them and the looks that we're going to see. So that's critical, and for us right now, as close as we're getting to game day, that's going to be paramount for us, is making sure we get that continuity and gain what you just asked me about through those those sessions.
Larry, have you done anything special to prepare for the play calling duties that go with the job?
No, just go to work every day, coach football. Coach football, and study film, and put our kids and try to put our players in the best situation possible to win.
Do you feel good about, what's your sense for the playmakers you have on your side of the ball? Do you see some kids emerging that can help you there?
Yeah, that's always interesting. You got some guys that have proven that they felt it, they know what that feels like, and Jawan Jennings and John Kelly, they've played and they've done those things, so you know what they're kind of capable of. But the exciting and really for me, the fun part of it is to see which one of these young kids are going to rise to the occasion. Obviously, they're talented, and that's why they're at the University of Tennessee, and it's their time. So it's kind of the fact-finding and discovery process that's really exciting as coaches, and I can't wait to put the ball down and wait to see which one of these guys step up and become playmakers in our offense. It's going to be fun.
We don't see many true freshmen start on the O-line in the SEC. How close is Trey Smith to being ready to do that?
I tell you what, he's getting closer and closer. Trey's still, we still can't forget he's 17 years old, and that he's still learning. And I don't care how big or how strong a guy is, mentally they're still young. They're still a freshman, and it's the grind of it all too, especially in this position at this league. You can have one or two good days, but as an offensive lineman, you cannot have a bad day. And so, through all of that, he's still learning and still gaining and still maturing and doing all of those things. But he's another one of those guys you're excited to see. We know what happens when the lights are on and you're in the stadium and it counts now. So it'll be interesting and fun to watch.
And tight end, are you looking for a couple guys kind of like last year that would get most of the reps, or is that a situation where you've got some complementary parts that can maybe be used in different situations?
I think that's the big piece when you talk about tight end play. It's all complementary. It's all about where it fits, when it fits, what situation that you need to have certain guys doing certain things. And that's the beauty and the versatility of when you use the tight end position the right way. You can't always just stuff it in one box and say this is what it is. You have to be able to put guys in the right positions, in the right situations, for their skill set to help their offense.
So do you envision playing 3-4 of those guys this year? Any idea how many?
As many will be ready to go, and they're going to play.
Yeah.
Last question. A week and a half out, is everything where you want it to be at this stage of camp?
And you know what? As a coach, again, you're always evaluating. You're always saying, this is what we got, this is what we have. But at some point, it's time to go play. So you never really say, I feel great, or I feel bad, or I feel good. You know what? What does today bring? What do we got to get done today? What do we got to conquer? And then soon it's going to be game day. It's going to be like, what do we got to do today? To win, put the ball down. And I think a lot of questions will start to get answered.
Thank you, everybody.